Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Payoff Pitch presented by Fantasy Phenom. I'm Kyle. That's Mike. You can follow us on Twitter at the Twitter handles above, Kyle_Nusser, Yanks fan 37, and of course, Fantasy __Phenom.
What's going on, Kyle? Welcome to the Payoff Pitch, guys.
Yo, so made some good pitching calls tonight. The one that everybody thought would do amazing didn't have the best game. And what did we say in that pre-lock show, Mike?
If we were going to play him, he probably wasn't going to go off. Man, everything was set up for it. Everyone was prepared for Sale to go out and have a dominating performance. And just, man, it didn't happen. But yes, we're going on a little bit later tonight. So I appreciate you guys rocking with us, waiting for the show like this. I remember back in the days, man, when I was waiting for the show. So I feel you guys.
Back on the swirl.
Yeah, I remember waiting for the YouTube notification. So I'm glad you guys are rocking with us, man, and we'll try and bring it again. It's baseball DFS, though, guys. You can only play the odds and hope they do what they do. Like, I agree with you, Mod. The Cubs, man, what happened? Chris Bryant gave me 2 points versus the pitcher that I wanted to attack the most. I don't know what happened, man. A little bit of a wind problem there, I guess, but
yo, let's talk for a second. Jose Barrios. We talked about him last night. This kid is special, man. I know he gave up 2 late home runs. Don't trip on that. Kid's got talent. Nailed
Absolutely.
that. What about Sonny Gray? Went out, had 10 strikeouts, 61 fantasy points.
Yeah, I thought it was 11. Maybe it was 10.
Maybe it was 11. I don't know. Whatever. We talked about game stacking.
Yeah, he was the sneaky ninja on the slate today. Sonny Gray.
Yeah, didn't expect that. I did say I didn't want to stack against him. I did not say I wanted to pitch him, though. That turned out to be the wrong call. We talked about games.
Yeah, we had the early slate down pretty good. I had pitching all day down. It's just all my stacks that I liked, man.
Dude, I nailed
all my stacks that I liked did not do well. Houston didn't really have a good game. I think they lost 6-2 in that game. The Cubs. I talked about the Yanks, the Rays. Really nobody that I was on as far as bats went off today. So it's one of those nights for me where my pitching hit, but my batters did not, and it's going to happen. So especially when I don't play many lineups, so I don't have the luxury to go out and play all these different spots. I'm sure I would have cashed had I in at least one spot if I was making 5-10 lines, but
yeah.
Again, you can only play the odds, and we did. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, man. Early slate, I nailed. Personally, I game stacked Chicago and Arizona, as you talked about. On the lines, I didn't have Quintana. Also stacked the Blue Jays. I had Ryan Goins in a lineup. I wanted to be a little different, and I went bottom of the order to fit a stack, cheap stack. That worked out well.
Yeah, definitely.
And then on the main, man, Tyler Chatwood went out, had a game.
Look out for this guy in the future, man.
Telling you.
He had a rough start, man. He couldn't find the strike zone in the first 2 innings. He looked like he was in line for only like a 5-inning performance, but he brought it back together, got some run support, and turned in a really nice performance. I think if you had him, he did well. He didn't really have the ownership that we expected. I know if you guys are members and tuned into our members-only show prior to lock, we were speculating that he would be the SP2 on DraftKings with all the ownership. He was sitting around 15% where I was at. So,
yeah,
interesting play.
And then Mike Leake, man. We talked about Mike Leake on that show. I know we didn't talk about him much last night, but we talked about him on that members-only show, and he ended up being one of our favorite pitchers on the slate. And yeah,
I ended up playing him after further discussion amongst the community all day, and I ended up playing him, and when he outscored Sale, for sure. I mean, so yeah. And then the other pitcher to have was Severino. Obviously, went out and pitched to Jim again. He had electric stuff today. He really wasn't anybody that. Wasn't even like anything got close to getting hit out today. He was the top pitcher on the slate. Him and Chatwood.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 guys to have on DraftKings to win all the money tonight.
All right. Looking ahead at tomorrow, we have quite a slate breakdown. We have the early, the afternoon, and the main.
Yeah. 3 separate viable slates.
So 12 games total. Start with Seattle, Washington. First game, 9 o'clock for those of us over here on the Best Coast.
Now, is it on FanDuel the same breakdown? It's 6-game early, 4-game turbo, 5-game main on DraftKings. Is it the same breakdown on FanDuel?
Remember, we don't get the breakdowns until the morning. So we have we have a 6-game early and a 5-game main. I assume there will be a express slate in between there, but FanDuel doesn't release those until the following day, the day of.
Okay. Yeah, so on DraftKings it's a 4-game afternoon turbo, and that consists of Seattle, it consists of, I don't know, it's not loading. Either way, it's 4 games in the middle of the afternoon games.
Yeah. So Ariel Miranda, man, lefty matchup today with Gio Gonzalez, who Gio's been having a pretty good year, actually. I know he had a rough start last time, I believe, against the Pirates.
I think that game was in Atlanta.
Was it in Atlanta?
Let me look. I thought it was.
I could be wrong.
A lot of baseball going through my brain right now, man. It's hard to keep up sometimes.
What's up, Jeff? Jeff's in the building.
I could have sworn it was in that crazy ballpark. It was, yeah. At Atlanta, 5 2/3, 9 hits allowed, 4 runs, 2 homers, but that's probably product of the ballpark. Did pitch 116 pitches, 5 Ks, 3 walks. So not by his standards. Obviously, he's pitching to a 2.86 this year, so it wasn't really his start. But, I mean, again, 2 home runs in that ballpark, he'll do it.
Yeah. Gio's not a guy that gives up a lot of home runs, by the way. I know he's given up a couple more than he usually does, but the StatCast numbers are in his favor, definitely. Under 30%, 95 mile an hour plus. Exit velocity average is 85. Ariel Miranda, on the other hand, gives up a ton of fly balls, and especially to right-handers. 52% fly ball rate to right-handers, so immediately Ryan Zimmerman and Anthony Rendon come to mind. Anthony Rendon is hot, too.
Yeah, I mean, on the flip, we talk about recent performance. This guy just went out and pitched a gem against the White Sox. I mean, it is the White Sox, but he did go out and have his best start of the season. 7 innings, 1 earned run, 4 hits. On 9 Ks. And actually, the start before that at Toronto, he struck out 8 Blue Jays. So he's coming off 2 really nice performances, and he has shown some upside. That's now 4 games this season that he started and had 20-plus DraftKings points. That's versus the White Sox, at Toronto, at Cleveland, and versus Miami. So he's shown some upside. He's real cheap on DraftKings at $6,700, but like you said, he's facing this Washington team that is hitting another stride going into June, so I don't think he's really worthy of a play that I'm feeling comfortable about. Right-handed bats, right? That's his deal.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, does this concern you? Look at the team WOBA for the Nationals: 427, 468, 519, 407, 500, 613. Even Michael Taylor has a 381 WOBA against lefties this year. The ISOs are ridiculous.
I'm not trying to make a case to pitch the Mermaid. No, not at all. Not in this ball. Not in Washington. I don't really want to pitch him. I'm just saying, if you value recent performance, it's kind of the opposite tape in a sense.
No, that's fair. I think Washington is in play, especially on a short slate.
Roark went out and had a bounce back performance too. He was 3rd highest pitcher on the day as far as scoring.
Bet.
So look for that. Did strike out 8, but gave up 8 hits, but also struck out 8. I don't really know that factors into this game, but Washington, another game that they went out and won, and Rendon hit another homer. Right-handed bats, we talked about that. Can you think 3 in a row, maybe?
Well, I'm telling you, Zimmerman, Rendon tomorrow, and Trey Turner, who's heating up a little bit.
Yeah.
And Jason.
Maybe.
Why not? Why not Jason Ward too? Stack the Nationals tomorrow. Michael A. Taylor for cheap. Matt Wieters. Anybody you want, I think, is in play against Ariel Miranda tomorrow. So
6 game slate, guys. So I think Miranda is one you can go after. I agree. Gio, not one I really want to stack against. His numbers at home, let's see, what does it look? It doesn't look bad, man.
Yeah, I'm not
Limiting
on.
hard contact at home. I think that's kind of, I don't know. That might just be a small sample, but I like him better in this ballpark than most others.
Not on Seattle. Real quick, I do want to highlight something. For those of you that saw the StatCast stats and numbers that we uploaded to today's sheets. So,
Yeah.
sorry for the sub members. Just today, we're going to show them. So we added a couple things. Hitter dashboard and pitcher dashboard. So
Yeah, go to the dashboard page, man. That is really cool tool to show you guys.
it has everything on it. So I'll zoom in a little bit for you. Zoom out. No, that was actually perfect. No, a little bit. All right, there we go. So it's all broken down by lineup. So obviously this will change as the lineups change. Their batter, hand, position, team, home, away. That's not relevant for your purposes. I need it for reference. FanDuel pricing, DraftKings pricing, opposing pitcher, his hand, and then all our metrics. Home run percentage. The new one is StatCast percentage. So this takes into account all of the stats that we show on StatCast sheets, and we have built a percentage similar to home run. I've been testing it over the last couple days. As you guys know, I've been playing a ton of free contests. I'm always testing numbers. I have another set of numbers I'm actually testing tomorrow that I just finished building tonight. So that may make its way onto the sheets if it works. But essentially, it takes into account the average exit velocity, the barrel balls, and average exit velocity. So those three numbers, we built a percentage combined with other things, obviously for matchup. So that's how that's built, and it's another tool to reference. How I've been kind of using it is I'm looking for guys that are kind of green across the board. So then you have our matchup WOBA, the batter ISO, hard contact rate, and fly ball. These are the numbers you see on the game sheets, but it's all in one place for you. The matchup WOBA is the one you don't see on the game sheets. That's a calculation by us. And so, again, it's just kind of pairing the two numbers together. And then the pitcher dashboard. Same exact concept. Obviously, a lot less data on here. But we've eliminated the other two pitcher projection systems. We now have the two that I think are the most accurate. Or we think. Me and Jeremy and Mike have been testing them. So the base score, the base opponent run score, that'll change obviously as the opponent's line is confirmed and the run line is factored in, and then the percent change, and then you have the StatCast percentage. So again, it's a percentage we built based on the pitcher's StatCast percentages. All tools to help you. You'll notice some differences. However, you guys, if you're in the River group, you hear Theo talk about all he does is use StatCast. So there's a number of different strategies that you can use to build your lineups. Again, if you don't have a set one, I really recommend playing low dollar contests or free contests to figure out strategies and test them. It's what I've been doing. Theo uses strictly StatCast. I use the pitcher projections percentage and then verify with StatCast. I do the same with batters. So
Yeah, can you go back to that hitter dashboard page real quick?
yeah.
So yeah, guys, I mean, this is 2 of 20-some tabs. If you guys aren't receiving these sheets,
Yeah.
this is just one of that many tabs of information. So there's a whole lot of information to build your own strategy from. Now, the home run percentage, StatCast percentage, matchup WOBA, those are all predictive analytics that we have come up with as a community, just kind of putting all insight together. And then, a big shout out to obviously Jeremy George that, is an integral part in creating these predictive analytics. And there's more to come. So this page in itself is kind of somewhat what I'm using as far as designing our website. It's kind of why we were late on the show today. We were working toward, a plan for this website, and we're building these lineup pages based on a dashboard, and we're trying to streamline all the statistics we think and we've tested to be most accurate. So definitely a great new addition. I encourage you guys to check it out and make your own
Analysis on it.
Yeah, make your own analysis and make your own strategy.
So awesome.
I forget what brought us there, but
we were talking
good
about
deal.
Everything. So back to Pittsburgh and Atlanta. Oh, I remember what brought us there. Chris Ho asked us to explain the StatCast.
Gotcha.
All right, Pittsburgh.
Well, I mean, I don't know that we can fully explain it. It does take a little bit of research on your part to really fully explain it. I mean, we could have a whole show explaining StatCast. So
it's an amazing tool, though. Amazing. If you put in the research,
it is.
It can help you a ton.
And if anybody, you guys have any questions about it, I mean, we spend enough part of our day researching this stuff, so gladly answer it for you.
Pittsburgh and Atlanta, another early game. I love these because it means I get to get up at 4 a.m. every morning on these slates and start already updating lines. Adam Frazier hit a home run today in Atlanta. He has one more game there against Bartolo Colon. Right across the board for this guy. I think we can target him with a Pittsburgh stack. Frazier, Bell, Freese again. I look there. I'm still gonna go right back to Matt Adams and Matt Kemp. I'm gonna look at them all year in this park. And see how they do.
Since they brought Frazier up, all he has done is hit, man. Yeah. Since he came back from injury, not brought him up. All he has done is hit. 32 at bats since returning from his injury. He's hitting .438. Obviously, you mentioned hit that home run today in the hitter's park, lefty-righty, against a very poor pitcher, probably leading off again. Yeah.
Mike, he's $700 more than Andrew McCutchen on DraftKings.
More?
More.
Wow. They adjusted that quick. I mean, he's been playing really well. Second base eligible on DraftKings at 4K. That might be where you look to play him. But again, it's tough. I mean, it's a 6-game slate, so it makes it a little bit easier. Obviously, the player pool's narrowed down. Other plays at that price range on the early slate. At second base, let's see. You have Ian Happ. I don't know if he'll start again. He's 4,100. Josh Harrison's also 4K. But they're really, I mean, he's the guy I want to play. I don't know that I want to. Would you rather play Ben Zobrist against Shark? I don't think so. I mean, Cano is $400 more.
Depends what the wind is in Chicago.
That's true, yeah.
It's always, I mean, they're going to, I bet you that as long as there's wind in Chicago, they're going to wait to release that Vegas line until they can.
It's going to be, right now. It's going to be 52 degrees with 20 miles an hour wind all summer in Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost June. It's still, like, frigid.
Chicago.
What's happening?
Oh, man. Tyler Anderson, dude. This guy, talk about the Rockies pitchers. I'm telling you, Mike, this team is going to win the NL West.
I hope they do.
We've been saying it. Corey and I have been talking about it since the season started. Best pitching staff they have. Marquez goes out, pitches well. I know it's the Phillies before anyone gets ahead of themselves. I know it's the Phillies, but Marquez, Chatwood. I think Anderson has a good game tomorrow. I'm not going to be surprised at all if he does. This Phillies lineup is pretty bad right now. Of course, the one guy that concerns me against the lefty, two guys actually, is Altier and Joseph. Even Rupp as well. Rupp is a little concerning, and he should play. I think Knapp started today. Rupp's not injured, is he? Got to double check that.
Yeah, I think these 4 rookies that they have: Tyler Chatwood, Herman Marquez, Tyler Anderson. I forget who's the third one, but
Chatwood and Anderson aren't rookies, are they? They played last year.
That's what it says. I'm reading right now. It says 4 rookies have been so good that even with an injury to expect to start, John Gray has allowed them the fewest runs in franchise history.
Maybe Anderson didn't pitch enough to qualify last year. I know.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
I know he pitched last year.
Yeah, I think it's again the Phillies. So we've seen all of these guys go out and play well. So Anderson's in play. I mean, he's been pretty up and down, man, this season. Obviously, he's given up a good bit of runs. That is a product somewhat of pitching in Coors Field, but he's pitching to a 6 ERA. It's going to come down, I imagine. But he's not cheap. 8,700 on DraftKings.
82.
If you're looking at him compared to the rest of the slate, he's top 6 in price.
Here's what the
lefty.
Here's what I like about Anderson.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you.
No, go ahead.
I love this. This is a very respectable K rate of 23% on the year. Under 30% hard contact and 31% fly ball rate. I love that trifecta right there. Obviously, the home run ball has bitten him a couple times this year. I'm not going to compare him to Pineda, but just like we talked about today, when he gets squared up, it seems like it's going out. The high WOBA is concerning, right? Low average against him, but a high WOBA. But the StatCast numbers are pretty favorable, man. Average exit velocity against him is 83.5 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, he's been somewhat of a ground ball guy. I think that's what they've been trying to target for all their starters. In Colorado, they're doing a great job of it. Again, I'll keep saying it. Shout out to this management for picking the right people for Coors Field. Yeah. And I think the reason his price is where it's at, 7Ks, 8Ks, 10Ks in his last 3 starts, all with, pretty nice performances for the price point on DraftKings. Again, Cincinnati, the Dodgers, and Arizona. So 3 quality opponents as well. So if you value recent performance, that's 3 straight quality starts with some decent K upside coming into this game in Philly against a team that's much worse than the rest of those. Oh, by the way, I was right. Houston was the first of 30 games. The Rockies were the first in the NL.
Damn it.
Ha.
Mike had
only by 1 game, so you were close. It's cool.
Oh, well. I love Tyler Anderson. I think he's going to be my pitcher on the early tomorrow. I really do.
Again, he's not cheap. Let's see. The price rise.
We'll see on FanDuel.
He was $6,900 last time out. He's $87 this time.
FanDuel, it's a little easier. Although I lied. Well, no, I didn't lie. I like Tyler Anderson. He'll probably be my main pitcher. But the guy in the next game, I'm doing it in spite. So you'll see.
You don't.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, if you're first time listening or watching this show, sometimes you have to not take Kyle as seriously as you do in other spots, and this next game is going to be one of those times. This 6-game early slate, though, I think Tyler Anderson is definitely one of the plays that I like. I mean, there's a reason. I think there's a reason why his price is where it's at. It's because of the other pitchers on this early slate. They realized what was going to happen if they priced him where he had been priced. We didn't talk anything about Ivan Nova, but he's been having a good year. The problem is he's pitching in Atlanta tomorrow.
Yeah.
Even though he's an elite ground ball pitcher.
I'm not doing it.
I don't think I'm doing it. Obviously, I made that rule. I established myself. I'm not doing it anymore. Yeah, he's another guy maybe you look at. We didn't really talk much about.
So I'm going to go right back to a Colorado stack, man. If we can attack Hellickson, we can attack Vince Velasquez. Look at that home run per 9 against lefties. Look at it at home this year. 2.4 at home, a 38% hard contact, 41% fly ball rate. Charlie Blackmon, he's leading off again. Let's just plug him in. Carlos Gonzalez is heating up, man. He is hot. And, I got to touch on something real quick, Mike.
What's up?
One of the guys in our river group, I love this guy, man. DJ Ev. He is a DJ, obviously. This dude puts in so much research, and he asks so many questions. I love it, because that's what it's all about. He asked me today, he's like, how do you know when to play guys that are below average on the sheets? How do you know when a guy that is below the green, he's in red, what makes you play them? I'm playing a bunch of head-to-heads versus Sharks. I'm trying to figure out my strategy. And I was like, man, a lot of it's eye test. You just have to watch and see the guys when they're heating up. A lot of it doesn't show up in the box score. We've talked about this. When a guy's hitting the ball hard, that's not, and it's an out. It's not going to show up in the box score. But a guy that's been slumping, that you see making solid contact, is about to come out. And even if he has 2 good games in a row, that's not going to show up on the sheets because it's not going to influence the numbers enough. So that's where you have to dig a little deeper.
Yeah, especially in baseball, man. You really need to watch some games and really kind of notice little trends. And here's a trend that I've noticed, and I went and did the research. The 7-8 hitters for Colorado have OBPs of 324 and 315. I mean, not great, but for a 7-8 hitting team, yep. It's not bad.
I've been punting Tyler Walters all year.
And then you add in the fact that they have 22 sacrifice bunts this year from their 9-hole player, whether that be the pitcher or whoever.
Then Charlie Blackmon's coming up.
And Charlie Blackmon now has 42 RBIs this season from the leadoff hole. it's not even close to all-star game. We don't see a leadoff player with that many RBIs, and that has a lot to do with it. These guys getting on base and bunted over to second.
Yep.
So even when you're thinking, oh, why would I, what's the potential of a stack here, a wraparound stack? Well, there you go. Numbers back it up. So.
Absolutely, man. I am on board with that. We talked about potentially putting that strategy in, right? You get a guy that they pitch around to get to the pitcher. They're not going to really risk it. That 8-hole, you got points there. He gets moved up to second. Then he gets knocked in. You got 6.2 FanDuel points automatically from an 8-hole hitter. Someone that's 2,500
without any hard contact.
Yep. So, I love it, man. I'm gonna keep continuing to punt Tony Walters. There's a little bit of pop in his bat. I like it. And then this Colorado stack, I think they're gonna be in play a lot. And we're coming up to a Colorado a Coors series on the weekend, man, and this team is hot at the right time for that ballpark.
Only in DFS, though, would you see Charlie Blackmon and Corey Dickerson in the same conversation as Mike Trout and Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
And that's currently the top 4 price outfielders on the early slate.
You know what, though? I can make the argument that Charlie Blackmon, Corey Dickerson not, but Charlie Blackmon is probably having a more complete year than both of those other guys right now.
Definitely.
Corey Dickerson is home run or nothing, and that's why he's in the conversation for DFS.
You talk MVP, has a lot to do with the team's performance. There's enough to be said about Charlie Blackmon being the Colorado team MVP, and they also had the most wins in the NL. So, yeah, definitely, man. I'm definitely on board with that.
Imagine if Dickerson was still in Coors, man. Oh, his power surge. Oh. So I think it goes without saying we're not really stacking Phillies, by the way. All right, so my game right here. Miguel Almonte. This guy's been terrible all year. He got lit up in AAA. They put him.
No, hold on. He hasn't played in AAA this season.
I thought he played in AAA and got lit up.
He played in AAA in 2016,
That's
and then
right, last year, yeah.
They decided to put him down to AA this season.
Yep. So in AA, he's been doing all right, but in AAA last year, he got lit up. Wasn't good at all. I believe a 6 ERA.
5.5 ERA, 5.25 xFIP.
There you go. So Nate Carnes goes on the DL. They're bringing him all the way up from AA to start against the Yankees in New York Stadium.
Yankee Stadium.
Whatever, in New York. Bright lights are on him. This guy, I'm going to take a punt on him, Mike. I really am. I'm going to play him. I think he's going to come out super adrenaline rush and shut the Yankees down tomorrow. Is it a smart play? Absolutely not. Am I going to do it, though? 100%.
So they're pitching a guy, his first major league start, by the way, straight from AA in Yankee Stadium against Tanaka in the Thursday matinee game. There is no Ellsbury. Ellsbury was diagnosed with concussion today.
Oh, well, there you go. Brett Gardner.
I'm curious to see what happens because they're going to need to bring up an outfielder. Might we see Clint Frazier? Hopefully, but probably not. We'll probably see...
Clint Frazier's not as good as Adam, by the way.
As good as who?
Adam Frazier.
Adam Frazier?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We'll see what happens with that. But,
I'm just throwing shade.
Who are they going to bring? They probably bring up... the name is escaping me. The guy that's on the 40-man. Mason Williams, I think is his name.
Okay.
They'll probably bring him up because he's on the 40-man. We'll see what happens there. Obviously, they got Hicks, so as a center fielder, she'll be all right. Anyway, talking about this guy, Almonte, in AA this season, he has 35 strikeouts in 29 innings across 6 starts and a 1.86 ERA. So good numbers. They have been up and down with this guy. He was a top 10 prospect for the Royals coming into last season, and they dropped him down to like 25 in their system after a really bad 2016 campaign. But I don't know. It's hard to feel like there's nobody in AAA that they like more than this guy. You know what I mean? Like, what happened here? Maybe there was just nobody in AAA that kind of like fell into this rotation. I know they have that Junis guy that pitched in the doubleheader last week, but he might I think it probably won't be a normal rest for him, so they need somebody else. I imagine that's why Miguel
Almonte. Bro, I'm telling you,
is
just
getting the call.
story. Everything is lining up for a good story. I was telling Mike before the show. In all seriousness, will it happen? Very, very unlikely. But you can just see it happening. This guy, first major league start, all the adrenaline. He's going to go out, shut down the Yankees, and you're never going to hear from him again. He's going to get blown up, and he's going to go back down to Double-A, and you'll never hear from him again. But he has that.
I've been watching way too many Disney movies, bro. This is Yankee Stadium. Ain't gonna happen.
I'm telling you, man. I'm playing him in a line.
Now, Tanaka, on the other hand, has looked absolutely awful. I mean, will Miguel Almonte outscore Tanaka? Perhaps.
Yes.
That could happen.
Moose and Salvi tomorrow.
Yeah, I think you can find some home runs. Dude, Bonifacio's had a good series. I don't know that he's going to play again, but he's had a great series. He's had 2 home runs in this series, so I don't know. Maybe he's a cheap guy. But, yeah, look for the power bats. Jorge Soler, obviously highly touted power bat, hasn't really translated to the minor leagues since the Cubs traded him. Whit Merrifield, kind of like their infielder, outfielder, does everything guy that's having a good season. I don't know. You can find 2 bombs in this lineup, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, against Tanaka. So I like Moose if he plays, man. And then I doubt Salvi plays. Maybe Drew Butera. So they'll drop him, probably Bonifacio. I like Brandon Moss again, too. Lefty versus righty. I like that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good play. I think it's a good play for sure. Definitely not as cheap on FanDuel, but I'm on both sides of this game as far as the hitters.
Yeah, in all seriousness, you can absolutely stack the Yankees. Brett Gardner, Gary Sanchez, I think is worth the price at $3,200. He's dropped a little bit. Aaron Hicks will play tomorrow, probably.
Aaron Hicks will play, yeah.
Yep, so you can look there. Didi is really hot right now. Aaron Judge is cooling down a little bit, so I don't know if I pay that much for him. But I do.
He's still hitting the ball hard. He just hasn't really been hitting homers.
Yeah. So I like some of the lefties. I really like Brett Gardner tomorrow leading off if he does, which I imagine he will.
Yeah, he should, for sure. And then I don't know. Maybe I think Tanaka is the ultimate GPP play. You know, let's look at the pricing here.
I mean, you could just play Almonte if you want GPP.
Say what now?
You could just play Almonte if you want GPP. Why would you risk it? At least you know you're going to lose with Tanaka. Why would you not just...
Well, I mean, I don't think there's any chance for Almonte to pitch 7 innings today.
God.
Even if he's out there, like, firing bullets, man.
And is there for Tanaka?
I mean, he shut out the Red Sox and had a complete game. So there's definitely... It happened this year. So there's definitely the case for that.
Damn it.
I mean, there's really not many aces on this early slate. I mean,
Tyler Anderson.
I don't think it'd be the case for any of them being aces, including Tanaka. I don't think he's an ace, but when you look at which one of these guys has went out and had a double-digit strikeout game, you know,
Almonte did in Double-A.
He's on the short list. Tanaka's on the short list. Probably him and Shark, the only 2 people that I think this season have went out and had 10 strikeouts in a game.
This is a fun game, man. Daniel Wright, he's awful. He started a couple times this year. Not a good pitcher. Not a guy I will play tomorrow.
Daniel wrong.
Yeah, Daniel, don't make the wrong decision here. I already know somebody's gonna play him for the K upside versus the Rays.
What K upside?
That's what I'm saying.
Because of the Rays.
Yeah. If you want that, just play Almonte. I promise. Don't play Daniel Wright, please. So, the Rays stack has let us down a couple days in a row.
Like that 3.
2 days in a row. They went out. Actually, you know what?
Rasmus had a homer today.
Yeah, they didn't even really let us down. If you had Morrison and
Sousa and Rasmus, if you did that 6-7 stack, you did it. You had fun.
Yeah, I think Beckham will probably be 5 again, and then Steven Sousa right here. But I'm gonna go right back to him. You can call me crazy. I'm gonna do it again.
Against Daniel Wright, dude. Definitely not crazy, man. I mean, so last start out against Seattle, gave up 5 earned on 8 hits, 4 innings pitched, 64 pitches, 4 Ks, 1 walk, 1 homer. This dude is just
Mod says, "Fool me twice, shame on me."
That's true. That is the saying, isn't it? Alex Meyer this is his regularly scheduled start.
Yeah, he's on
He
the
was
DL.
placed in the DL with back spasms. He is a long reliever. He's compiled 13 innings. I don't think he's actually started a game this year. It looks like all 13 innings have been out of the bullpen. Oh no, he did have an exceptional spot start against the Blue Jays in April 23rd, which he allowed 3 hits over 5 shutout innings.
Beautiful. Stack the Rays tomorrow.
So maybe that happens again, man.
Don't do that. Just stack the Rays. They're a GPP
He did it this season. It's not unprecedented.
I'm stacking the Rays again. I'm going to go back to Dickerson. His price even dropped a little bit. I like Rasmus again for a cheap home run option. And I don't know if I go...
Dickerson, Pujols, Trout. Dickerson, Trout, Harper, or Blackman.
Blackman.
Yeah.
Blackman. I don't like Harper as much versus the lefty. I know he can... Harper's Harper, but not as much. And then, Albert Pujols, 597 home runs. He's getting close.
It's been a while since he's had that. 596 was like... Maybe it's not been. We've been doing this for a long time.
You remember when people
probably was like last week.
People were saying, I think it was a couple years ago, he was the one that had a chance to pass Barry Bonds?
Well, I think ever since he moved to LA,
That's out the window, yeah. That's not happening.
Yeah.
Barry Bonds will forever stand atop the home run mountain. Never been convicted of doing PEDs, by the way. Just saying. So, innocent until proven...
You should read some books.
Innocent until proven guilty, Mike. Never tested positive.
We'll have the debate another day.
Matt Andreessi, is he playable tomorrow?
Playable, yeah. I think on a 6-game slate, like I just said, there's no aces on this slate. I think Andreessi's in play.
I still like Tyler Anderson more. I don't think I play Andreessi tomorrow with Tyler Anderson on the slate, but I can.
Yeah, no, I like Tyler Anderson a little bit more as well, but I think Andreessi has had. No, I agree. I'll stick with that. And Anderson's been striking more people out recently.
Is Maben Trout a viable stack at this point, leading off? I think it is.
4,600 for Cameron Maben? No thanks.
DraftKings 35, but brother, they're producing, so it's something to watch for.
Yeah, 2 straight games with a homer, I think, right? I don't think he had one today, but before today.
And SF and Chicago, Jeff Samardzija. Bro, I'm telling you, he's pitching a lot better than his numbers show. The StatCast is actually pretty favorable towards him. Under 87 miles per hour average exit velocity. High strikeout rate this year. High. And he's actually not allowing a lot of fly balls. He's just kind of got bitten by the home run percentage.
I like to target Samardzija with lefties, but I'll trust you on that one. I haven't been watching much of his game this season, to be honest, but I do know the numbers do favor lefties against him, from what I've seen. I think there's an interesting case to be made for both these pitchers. Obviously, Samardzija, highest priced pitcher on the early slate, so he's 9,800. Went out. He's actually put together quite a few good performances. 8, 9, 11 are his K performances in the last 4 starts. So.
Also, I know it's early. 14-mile-an-hour wind in Wrigley tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's early. That can change. But that is a huge favor for pitchers. So don't sleep on Shark.
Yeah, he struck out 41 batters over 36 and 2/3 innings through his past 5 starts while allowing just 11 earned runs and a single walk.
So that's not terrible.
So
it's really not.
That's a good little stretch of 5 starts coming into Wrigley Field if the weather is favorable
for pitchers,
in an afternoon game against the Cubs lineup. That's probably a good time to face them. Obviously, we saw that they made hella changes today. to their lineup.
Shit,
and didn't really work out, man. They faced a terrible pitcher and did not put up a crooked number. So this is a much better pitcher. So we'll see what happens. Eddie Butler makes his third start. Last time out against Milwaukee, went 3 innings. Took him 90 pitches to get there. Only gave up 3 runs, but struck out. I mean, he walked 5, and they took him out because he was,
walking too many. Yeah, just putting himself
yeah,
in
he
danger.
just was putting people on bases. He already had 100 pitches. So after a good first start as a Cub, kind of a disappointing second one, and now he gets San Francisco, which is kind of a favorable matchup again if this favors pitchers again. Can you look at Butler?
I would rather play Tyler Anderson for $600 more against a Philly lineup that I know sucks.
Yeah, see, much different call on DraftKings. $5,700 for Eddie Butler, $8,700 for Tyler Anderson. That's a difference of $3K. You're talking about a bottom 5 pitcher in price and a top 5 pitcher in price. So maybe that is your play if you're trying to go, high, low on the early slate on DraftKings.
Yeah. Nah, I think
I don't know.
Maybe.
I think I like Shark more.
I do like Shark tomorrow. So, all right, that's the early slate. Now, of course, Cleveland likes to do their 6 o'clock games for whatever reason. I don't know.
I don't really care, man. I don't really want to play him anyway. So
I think you got to look at Tim against Tim Adelman, man. This guy's terrible.
This game's not included in any slate on DraftKings right now, so I haven't really looked at it as much.
I'll be interested
Tim Schmadelman.
I imagine they'll probably include a slate with the Giants game and the Cleveland game, and probably throw in a couple of the 7 o'clock games. I don't know. I don't know what FanDuel's going to do yet, but Mike Clevenger, dude, what? Is this guy in a Twilight Zone, or what's going on with him?
This dude's been G. I mean, it's almost like we can name this game Tim and Mike at 6. It's like tune in. That was pretty bad. Sorry about that, guys.
That was a ho-ho joke.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Mike Clevenger. 26.8K percentage this season. Hasn't given up a home run yet. Hard contact under 20%.
Respectable
games in Cleveland now. This is like the Battle of Ohio. This 2v2 home and home.
What's the weather like in this
I
game?
think this is the last game, too.
There is, I don't know if this game's even going to play, dude. 95, 90, 90, 90, 84. I don't think this game, there's a lot of, holy shit. Sorry. A lot of weather concerns on tomorrow's slate. By the way, the New York game might not play. 78, 74.
Yeah, I heard that.
The beat
and
writer,
Philly.
Yeah, the Philly game looks a little better. It looks like it might delay to start, and then it looks better as the game goes on. Washington is the reverse. It looks good, and then it looks like you're going to catch some rain, possibly at the end of the game. The beat writer for the Yankees did come out today, said they are playing another series in Yankee Stadium later in the year. They'll make it up then if that is the case.
I didn't know that.
I'm almost certain this Cleveland game doesn't play. Unless the forecast changes, I mean, that has a lot of time to. But unless the forecast changes significantly, I don't think this game plays.
Yeah, so if you guys are if you guys are in the morning listening to this on your way to work or whatever, you guys are thinking about playing this early slate and you aren't going to be around a computer leading to lock, highly advisable that you don't do that because of all the weather concerns. We can only speculate here the night before, but we will, obviously be in the community talking it up and perhaps doing some shows before each lock to, I don't know, bring us our last thoughts with weather included in those thoughts.
Yeah.
For the community members.
For what it's worth, if this game does play 1 through 4 on Cleveland, lock it in. Maybe Jose Ramirez is a play as well. I can see it. Cheap third baseman. Lonnie Chisenhall, cheap outfielder. But I love 1 through 4. Carlos Santana's hot. He's getting hot. So, playing well too.
Let's move on to the real slate. This 5-game main slate.
Bet. San Diego, New York. This is a guy, all seriousness, I know I was joking earlier about lightweight joking. I'm going to play him. Really, I don't think he's a good play, but I'm actually going to play the Miguel Almonte. But Dinelson Lamet. I'll let Mike talk about him, but this is a guy I'm playing tomorrow.
All right, so Dinelson is the Padres' number 10 prospect according to MLB Prospect Pipeline. He dominated the Cal League early last year, earned a promotion to AAA, and ended up being their most dominant starter through the championship run to end last season. So he's back in AAA this year for the El Paso Chihuahuas. Check him out. Give him a Twitter follow. Awesome name.
It's awful.
Anyway, you guys didn't hear for that. So this year, in 6 of his 8 starts, he's held opponents to 1 run or less in AAA. April 20th, he struck out 13 batters in 5 1/3, and he struck out 9 in 2 other starts in AAA. Has a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and he loves it up and into righties as a strikeout pitch, apparently. And he has a sinker. So I did some video watching with him. Numbers don't lie as well. Let me see if I can.
He has like a 1.6 fly ball or ground ball to fly ball rate, which is really good.
Yeah, this season it's not really been the same throughout his minor league career, but this season he's got a nice little ground ball to fly ball rate.
Could have something to do with him finding his sinker, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. And then I think his career minor league numbers as far as K percentage. This year has a 29.9 K percentage in those 8 starts in AAA. Last year, over AA and AAA, had 28% K percentage. So in the last 2 years in the minors, he's had an elite strikeout stuff. So,
and if he's got that ground ball rate going, that's a good combination. We talk about that all the time. So
again, this will be his first major league start. Actually, major league debut. Not even his first major league start. So. Jared Weaver, they want this guy to succeed, man.
Yeah, they
don't want Jared Weaver back. His phantom injury, they want to turn into his first foot into retirement with Dinelson Lamet to come in here and shut down some Mets.
Now, again, this game does have some rain concern. It's looking like 50% up until game time. It does get a sharp increase at 9 o'clock. So a couple hours in, you're going to see a 75% chance of rain. But it's going to drop significantly after that. Granted, again, all this could change. But maybe they play through it knowing that the rain is not very... it doesn't look like it's going to be lasting or staying around.
Mm-hmm.
But still a concern nonetheless. And that's going to definitely come into play when you look at the other guy who's going to be chalk and Jacob deGrom. So...
Yep, he is the top pitcher as far as price on this slate. I think you make the case that he's probably the top pitcher on the slate. So... I think pitching against DeGrom will be definite GPP strategy. I mean, especially if Jay Bruce doesn't play again, I think it's a little bit easier to play this guy. But then you got Michael Conforto, who
ridiculous.
Let me just read his. He's just been. Yeah, I don't even have to read. He's been. What he's been doing. They're gonna have a serious problem, dude, when Cespedes comes back. What is Granderson just not going to get playing time anymore?
I would imagine.
What are they going to do?
Move Jay Bruce to first?
I guess, but I don't think they want Jay Bruce to do that, man. I don't think Jay Bruce really wants to do that. I mean, he's the one making the money.
Yeah.
Conforto's not really making the money,
Well, they're not shifting Conforto's to first base. Jay Bruce is slow as hell. They may as well put him in
You'd
first
be
base.
surprised what Mets ownership and Terry Collins would do. I bet you Granderson...
Terry's such a bad owner.
I don't know that Granderson's gonna take odd man out very well, but he kind of is right now.
He might. I think you can look at a Met stack. However, personally, I'm not going to. So, of course, your usual suspects, right? Conforto, Walker, Bruce, if he plays. I think you can still look at Granderson. So, Jose Reyes. Another game, Mike. This has a lot of rain concern as well. Texas and Boston. So we're looking at upwards of 50% up until game time, an hour into game time, and throughout the night it steadily increases. So.
Yep, you gonna bring your pom poms out for this one, man? You going, Drew?
I'm not. I'm not going to. I think I'm avoiding both pitchers in this game. I think you can game stack this game if it plays. I look at DeShields. I look at Napoli again. Napoli, he may have a nice series here in Boston, so get him another home run. Lucroy's in play. They might play Chirinos again against the lefty, or they may sit Lucroy and play Chirinos at catcher. Some possible options there.
Pomeranz against Nick Martinez in this game. Obviously, if this game plays out, you got to look at Palm. I think for his price, he's I don't know. He's just really not been performing well. But we mentioned it with Sale last night. This is a positive K matchup for a lefty against Texas. Obviously, it didn't really work out today against the best strikeout pitcher in the league. So there is that.
And nobody's going to be on Palm either.
Yeah, if you look at the numbers, especially he hasn't even made it to the 5th inning in each of his last 3 starts. Been walking a ton this season. So, man, I don't know. He does show some K upside. I think he's had 10 strikeouts in a game this year. Let's see.
Yeah,
yep, one time, but against the Rays. So
we know there's K upside, but he also can walk 15 batters in a game.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's not. He rarely goes into the 6th inning. That's his problem.
And then Nick Martinez, has some red homer numbers there. So
and no
I think
strikeouts.
he target both sides of the plate for this guy. I like a Boston stack today.
Yeah, especially the lefties. 46% fly ball rate against him. Maybe some Benintendi tomorrow. Sandy Leon, punt catcher, possibility. But you can definitely look at the righties as well, Mitch Moreland. So game stack in effect tomorrow. And then another one, man. Arizona, Milwaukee. Absolutely a game stack possibility. Robbie Ray is legit all or nothing. He's going to strike you out or he's going to give up a home run. I mean, hard contact of 50%, Mike.
Yeah.
And
he's coming off a good game, too, if I'm not mistaken.
It's versus the Padres, so let's keep that in mind.
Let's pump the brakes, yeah. Milwaukee is definitely a similar. If you look at all the metrics, Milwaukee and San Diego are very similar in a sense. When you look at ISO, home run per fly ball, hard contact rates, and strikeout rates, they're a home run or nothing club just as much as San Diego is. I think probably a little bit. San Diego obviously strikes out a lot more.
And hits less home runs.
Yeah, but that's the kind of team that both these teams are. Obviously, Miller Park, 100% in play. That last game was in San Diego, which is the opposite extreme.
Yep.
So I don't chase Robbie Ray. I think there's a case to be made, but I don't think it's my top play today.
Nope, not even in my top 3 pitchers today. I don't like it in this park.
I think that you can try to find some bombs off him.
I do. Brian Braun, if he plays, absolutely. Jonathan Villar has shown a little bit of pop. And some upside, obviously, at the top of the lineup. If Jesus Aguilar plays tomorrow, I like that play as a cheap first baseman. Domingo Santana's no joke. Keon Broxton. For this whole lineup, Jet Bandy, if he plays, Manny Pena. You can look up and down.
This lineup.
Yeah, you can look up and down the lineup for bombs against Robbie Ray, especially if they put hard contact. 89.7 average exit velocity. Almost 50% of the balls hit against him are 95 miles an hour plus. Yeah, just...
This is my favorite. Milwaukee is my favorite team to find cheap bombs off of, for sure. Looking at his game logs, he's only given up 1 home run in almost every start. He's given up no home runs in 3 out of 9. He's given up 2 in 1 time. So he doesn't really... Maybe you look for a one-off to find 1 bomb. I don't know that you really stack here.
And then on the flip...
there's a bunch of cheap ways to find it, man. Other guys you mentioned.
On the flip, Zach Davies is right across the board. Jake Lamb is hot as can be right now. It's going to be hard to fade him on this slate. Yasmani Tomas has hit righties better than lefties this year. You factor in this park. David Peralta is going to be a good play again. This Arizona lineup is... They're not really losing much going to Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think Davies is someone I definitely want to attack. Look at all the pitchers as a whole on this slate. He has been trending in a positive direction. He got to the 6th inning for the first time last start.
Yeah.
But, it looks like he's 3 straight wins. I don't know. I don't let it really fool you. He doesn't really have many good fantasy performances. It's just that maybe he's just been getting the run support. He's obviously pitching to a 5.44 ERA this season. So I definitely want to attack him. Definitely it's the stack I like. I think you can probably... You're not going to be able to do it for cheap, obviously. We've seen Arizona, what they can do.
By the way, if he plays tomorrow, Chris Herman.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? Don't say that. Why is Chris Herman outfield eligible?
On DraftKings, yep.
Why?
Got me, man. I actually played him in the outfield the other day. Whatever, man. Victor Martinez was a catcher on FanDuel still.
Yeah. Whatever. I guess. But yeah, Chris Herman, 2,500, cheap play as well. Brandon Drury also hits righties better than lefties. You can stack the. Like I said, you can literally go 8 deep in this game on FanDuel.
Yep, Miller Park. They don't have weather. I think they have a roof, right? Or is it a retractable roof or something? Either way, the weather's not. Even if there is weather in this game, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
This game's going to play. I think it's a safe game to start with. I like kind of both sides of this, man. I don't really want to stack against Robbie Ray, though. I think finding a cheap bomb, though, is a nice way to go. Domingo Santana stands out to me a little bit. Kind of cooled off a little bit since the road trip.
Hit a home run today, and Broxton.
Oh, Santana did?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I was thinking about playing him. Yeah. I didn't play any of that early slate. I should have. I would have probably cashed, looking at who did well. What are you going to do? Yeah, that's about all I got for this game, man.
Detroit and El Houston. That's Houston in Spanish. Justin Verlander.
What is Astros in English?
I don't know. I didn't pass that class.
That was a trick question. I don't think it's
Justin Verlander, high fly ball rate, high hard contact. Obviously has a KF side. I think he's someone you can attack. I don't think he's the Verlander of last year. He's getting barreled too. Almost 10% of the batted balls events are barreled. And on the flip, Mike Fiers, over 10%. So
who's going to start the fire?
I like Avila tomorrow. He'll probably go second. I imagine JD's back in the lineup. You think Victor sits tomorrow maybe, and JD's bats fourth?
They just really like breaking up these three righties with Avila, man. And Castellanos is having a poor year, so I know they had high hopes with his power. It just hasn't worked out. So it's just been nice, I think, for what's his face to put a lefty in between Kinsler and Cabrera. You know.
Yeah.
Especially versus righties.
So if Avila plays, absolutely. We talked about his percentage of balls that go 95 plus is ridiculous.
The StatCast GOAT of the season.
Yeah, so far. He may come down to earth, but play him while he's hot. We talked about that. Charlie mentioned that yesterday, man. Ride the hot streaks.
Absolutely. We got a tab in our spreadsheets. Hot bats. Check it out.
Sí. That's yes in Spanish. Yeah, I think JD Martinez is going to be in play again. Mike Fiers, the reverse splits guy. Dude, 6.3 home runs per 9, Mike, versus righties. 6.3. 489 WOBA against righties. JD Martinez, Justin Upton, Miguel Cabrera. I like that stack. Ian Kinsler even.
A crooked number like that makes me want to look into the stats a little bit more. So let's see. Home run numbers. Mike Fiers. He has given up double-digit home runs in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You mean
6 out of 8? 6 out of 9 starts this year. Double-digit home runs hit against Mike Fiers.
There's no way that. Mike, you mean over 2? Double-digit would be 10.
Double-digit as in 2, yes. So everybody else knew what I meant. You know, my brain didn't. Obviously, it was allowing me to say that, but he's given up double-digit home runs this season. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, he's given up 15 this year, and home run per 9 of 4. So in Houston, dude, I'm telling you, JD Martinez, Justin Upton. You can play the Castellanos too for cheap. Ian Kinsler, a full Tiger stack is in effect tomorrow. There's so many bats on this main slate.
Yeah, Houston's been having a little bit of pitching problems, man. Morton didn't have his good stuff today. I really want them to bring up some Francis Martes. They got a really strong arm in AAA right now, in Francis Martes. I think they want to be hesitant. They don't really want to bring him up before the All-Star break. But I mean, if Fiers keeps giving up double-digit home runs every game, they might have to.
Yeah, and then Houston. I mean, I don't know if I want to stack against Verlander, but you can find some bats.
Can you?
I think
Let's
you can.
see. Maybe, I don't know. Even if Correa plays, coming off, he's been sick.
I'll play Reddick.
I don't know if I want to pay for him against Verlander.
I like Reddick.
Reddick, yeah, he'll probably be in the lineup. Marisnik and him have been kind of platooning, it seems like.
Yeah, Marwin Gonzalez might play if Carlos Correa doesn't. That's a good matchup for him. So, and then Saint
Kind of lineup dependent, right, with Verlander.
Truth. St. Louis and Los Angeles. Michael Wacha is intriguing. Los Angeles has been striking out at a ridiculous clip right now versus St. Louis pitchers the last 2 nights. Does it continue tomorrow night? Maybe. Michael Wacha has had a very respectable season, too. Under a home run per 9, nice fly ball rate. Very, very, very nice StatCast numbers. 83 mile an hour exit velocity. Under 25% of the balls hit against him are 95 plus, and only a 5% barreled rate.
Yeah, the thing I look about with him, man, is his improved ground ball percentage and his low fly ball rate, man. It's really somewhat. I'm looking at the last 4 starts, and it's really elevated his floor because it's allowing him to pitch deep into games and keep the pitch count low. His strikeout rate has kind of hovered like 5-6 a game, so that's doable if you're going to get 6 innings out of the guy as like a floor, you know.
Absolutely.
Last 4 starts, he's pitched 6 innings with getting a no decision and getting double-digit fantasy points. So that tells me that he really didn't have the greatest performance, but he's still getting you fantasy points and establishing a floor. So 8,200 today on this slate. You put him in the light. He's $400 less than Robbie Ray, 5th highest pitcher on this slate. I do like that call.
So I'd rather play him over Ray personally.
Yeah, I think it's an intriguing call. I think. Obviously Robbie Ray's shown 30-point upside this season. Michael Wacha hasn't shown that he can get to 20 points yet, but again, he's been consistently playing deep into games and getting you a nice floor. So there's something to be said about that, man. Eventually he's going to have a game where he goes out and does well if he's consistently, time after time playing well. I know that they skipped his last start and.
Well, he's on the DL.
So what now?
He was on the DL. Maeda.
Maeda is on the DL?
He was. He's making his first start back.
Oh, I wasn't talking about Maeda, but yeah.
Oh, my bad.
I think they actually put Ryu on the DL today. So.
By the way, Maeda, I believe, will have a 90 pitch count tomorrow, if I read that correctly. So be cautious with him. I don't like him tomorrow.
I feel like all these Dodgers pitchers, man.
Fair. Yeah, they never let them pitch it. Who was it the other day that had 75 pitches and they pulled him early?
For the Dodgers?
Yeah. I forget who it was.
I don't know.
Anyways.
I feel like it's a common theme. For what it's worth, Maeda has pitched over 100 pitches twice this season. Actually, 2 of his last 3 starts. So
Matt Carpenter
he's been playing well, too. 20-plus DK points in each of the last 3 starts. But if he's going to be limited, I think you can go either way with him.
Is Matt Carpenter in play?
I like Jed Jorko again.
Yeah? Possibly a little St. Louis stack tomorrow?
Yeah. I like Jed Jorko again. Batting .330 on the year that's a 4.11 WOBA versus righties. So
definitely hitting well. With that said, I also really don't like a Dodgers stack. I think their bats are kind of cool right now. So if they break out,
I don't know if I want to stack either side of this, to be honest.
Yeah, there's so many better stacks in my opinion.
Excuse me.
Oh, all right. Well, let's do our little recap thing. So, top 3 pitchers to play. Actually, no. Let's do it this way. Early slate. Give me your top 2 pitchers to play and top 2 to attack, and then we'll do main.
Okay. Shark and Tyler Anderson. 2 top pitchers I want to play. Obviously, you're paying up for both of those, so if you did want to pay down to a player on DraftKings, I like to give an option to pay down to. Let's go with
Almonte.
Let's go with Butler in that same game as Shark.
All right.
And my top 2 pitchers to attack today. I'm gonna go Bartolo Colon and.
Don't you do it.
Do what?
Don't you say Almonte.
I wasn't going to. I think I was debating between Daniel Wright and Ariel Miranda.
Daniel Wright.
So let's go with all three.
All right. So my 2 to pitch are Tyler Anderson, number 1. I'm pitching him tomorrow. I'm telling you that now. It's not changing. And I think I agree with Shark, but I lightweight like Gio a little bit. Just a little bit. So I might throw him in a line. My 2 to attack are going to be Daniel Wright and Bartolo Colon as well. But I can agree with Ariel Miranda. So I think Mike and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
On to
One thing I
main.
know we're not on the same page with is GPP exposure to Tanaka if you're playing lots of lines.
Yes, I think you can attack Tanaka. Mike would like to play him. I think he's tired and he's sleep deprived. So
I just think he doesn't. I just think he wants to pitch for the Yankees another year.
all right, on to the main. Mike, 2 favorite pitchers. Go.
All right, hold on. While it loads, my 2 favorite pitchers on the main slate are nobody.
Not even DeGrom.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like DeGrom. I mean, I think DeGrom is the play tomorrow, but I like this call with Lamet. I think I might go down with the ship with him tomorrow. But obviously DeGrom far and away is the best play on the slate tomorrow. I think we said the same thing about Sale. Just go ahead and play him against a great team to strike out a bunch. But we saw how that worked out. So
It's an outlier.
that's baseball for you. You can only play the odds. He dealt with a blister in his... Man, these Mets players need to stop moisturizing, man.
God damn it.
All these freaking blisters, man. Go play in the dirt or something. Yeah, I like DeGrom. I like Waka. I like Maeda. And I like Lamet.
All right, so I am on Waka, DeGrom, and Lamet as well. My 3 to attack are going to be Zach Davies, absolutely. No rain concern there. Mike Fiers, 100%. And if this Texas game plays, I'd like to attack Nick Martinez. If it doesn't...
Yeah, I think Fiers and Martinez are my 2.
If it doesn't, I'm going to be GPP and stack against Robbie Ray.
Okay.
So you like Martinez and Fiers?
Fiers to attack.
All right.
Yeah, I get behind Robbie Ray. I don't know. Again, I don't want to stack there, but there's not many places to stack. I don't really want to pitch Robbie Ray in Milwaukee.
Definitely not. So, all right. Well, thank you guys again for tuning in, sitting with us, hanging out. If you're watching in the morning, good morning. And if you guys would like to join our River Group, get access to all these sheets and projections and percentages, all that good stuff, hit that link down below. We'll get you taken care of. And if you would not like to join yet, but you want to check out the River Group, we do have a guest chat available. You will receive help in there, obviously. There's guys talking in there. It's just not as organized, and you don't get the spreadsheets to help you with. But definitely can check out the group, see if you like it.
Yeah, you can talk to Kyle and I one-on-one.
See.
Also, if you're new to playing DFS, you've stumbled upon this video trying to find some help, and you want to try, like we said, maybe some different strategies. We offer free roll contests. Follow us on Twitter. We'll tweet them out, and you can get in, start playing DFS for free.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, have a wonderful night or a good morning, depending on when you're listening, and we will talk to you later.